Okay, so once you figure out the flow of the market and you see, like, okay, I've checked the two types of winds, right? I've checked the type of wind that is going with my big boy. The other one is checking with the correlation. Now, the one with my big boy is saying things are starting to slow down. Okay, but the one with the correlation is saying, well, everyone's saying it's a sell. So which one are you going to go with? Are you going to go with your immediate big boy, or are you going to go with the biggest boy, which is correlation? Okay, now it can be intimidating that this thing is coming up in such a strong buy. Generally, statistically speaking, if you just look at one single chart, that means stand aside. Because it's so aggressive, the buyers, why would anyone sell into the face of that, right? However, having that said, correlation tells you this flow is still ongoing. Here's the thing. If you take a look at earlier examples here, look at that strong buy. Does that mean that that could have been a V formation and the cells won't work anymore? Well, there's your next cell there. Look at this strong push up that says, oh, that's a probe. Well, that still has a cell after that. You see, just because it's at the bottom of the range doesn't mean it needs to just touch it and immediately need to take off to the top. Flip it to the other side. When this market comes all the way to the top here, and then it does this aggressive sell here, very aggressive sell, doesn't mean that it's still not for a buy, you know? So we can't be too quick to judge it that it's going to be a buy from here. We have to give it the benefit of the doubt. And the way we do things with our territories, right? Isn't this the territory? I would say that's seller's territory right there. And that's the guy who started it up there. Well, according to that, we're still in the sell zone. Okay, if we see it here on the 60, that's the guy who started it. So a buyer just came in very aggressively. And as we prepare to do our sells, the only thing we need to be watching out for once things roll over is, can I take it all the way down to here, or should I exit a little bit sooner? Okay, that's a different thing we need to worry about. But the game is still on for a sell. Overall, the trade might go for a buy, but that is not your trade as a 4-hour, 1 hour. Okay, that's not your trade as a 4-hour, 1 hour. So when you keep these things in mind, the next thing to keep in mind is, well, what about my risk? What about my risk? Is it better for me to do a sell on this one versus the other one that we saw that looked a little bit better? Let me go to the other one. For example, EuroCAD. Let's take a look at EuroCAD. Okay, when we see EuroCAD coming in like that, seller's territory, that's the guy who started it. Okay, and he's pulling up. Well, how come this one looks less intimidating when it has the same power of the buyers coming up? And it's coming down from the bottom of this piece too. Right? Because the sellers here look a little bit more aggressive here, a lot bigger, a lot more dominant. But the same issue happens. Whenever this thing starts to roll over, you get your V and all that stuff, and you prepare to sell, you can't take it all the way down here regardless. It's too risky. Right? It's too risky. So, keeping these things in mind, it's like for these buyers, take a look at this one here. Buyers are going up, buyers are going up. As it pulls back, hey, I'm going to buy it again. And as you buy it again, being in this uptrend, but looking at how aggressively it reacted, the buy probably won't make it to the recent high, but it does make an attempt. Okay? So for the guy who just is experiencing this pullback coming in to say, well, when can I buy this? He can't just immediately say, well, it's not a buy, it's a sell, because he has to sit through all of this before it's a sell, which means if it's timed wrong like that, because you're getting too much involved in different time frames, you're always going to get stuck. So you have to go with your wind, you have to go with your big boy. If they say it's still a buy, you buy. Okay? They say it's a sell, you sell. Okay, do not overthrow your immediate manager or your immediate supervisor and saying, I'm going to go straight to the boss. The boss thinks in a whole different level. Okay? And the way he's playing for his sells is a lot later than you think. It won't be here, but it comes up much later. Okay? So if you let go of that, not only do you miss the buy opportunities, but you also have a loss trying to hit the sell. So then you're in a double loss, basically, right? So you want to keep these things in mind. Okay, let's take a look at another example.